Hi, Mr. Jones. I just really want to thank you for coming in today. I mean, I know the first session that we had, we just really went over and we discussed like your negative thoughts, and how often it is very hard for you to concentrate at work, watching movies, like things of that sort, and really just how your anxiety messes with your everyday life and how at times you feel overwhelmed. I would like to just kind of go over and just revisit those thoughts and try something that we've discussed. Really just trying to challenge those negative thought processes. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that'd be all right with me. Uh, yeah, but it's really hard to stop thinking that I'm a failure or that everything is going to fall apart. So we can fix something about that. That'd be great for me.
Okay. We're gonna try out this process here in a second. I know it can be really hard to stop having those negative thoughts because I know that it tends to weigh very heavily on you. So there's this technique that we had discussed last session that I want to put in motion today. So really, whenever those negative thoughts pop up, like you saying like I'm a failure, like how you just said about yourself, how would it feel if you visualized like a stop sign or like you say stop like out loud to interrupt those like thought processes like whenever you have them. I've actually done this with a lot of kids at Marshall that I work with, and it's really helped them with their negative thought process. So maybe it'll work for you. Is that something that you would be okay with?
See, we can try it, but
Okay.
it's one thing that just always the thoughts always come so fast, but some reason they just feel so true, and it's hard for me to get over it.
Okay. So can I ask you as to why maybe they feel so true to you? Like, is there something that has transpired within your life that, makes you feel as if you are a failure? Do you have some traumatic experience, or, maybe it's something that you were told whenever you were younger, or things of that sort, or nothing that really just comes to mind? It's really just these negative thought patterns that you've always had.
So throughout my whole life, I always consider myself a mess up or so.
Okay.
Uh, for example, like yesterday, I was working on a project and I just kept telling myself, "Don't mess up, don't mess up," and I just kept feeling like if I mess up, everyone would look at me like I was not good enough. So I'm just trying to figure out how can I fix my mindset and stop thinking that way.
Okay, so you feel as if, you were worried about messing up, right?
Yes.
Have you ever messed up in a different, somewhere else? I know you did football. I know, you've had other jobs and things of that sort. Like, do you feel like, based off like past experiences, that's why you're so worried about messing up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, I mean, it really just sounds very discouraging.
Yeah.
So I really just want to break things down. And I would like to start with this process. So just start by saying, like, stop. Either out loud or just, like, in your head.
Stop.
Okay, say it one more time.
Stop.
Okay, now say it to yourself. Okay. So with this just kind of helps you acknowledge the fear, and also reminds you that you have strength and that you are strong. For example, that's like you saying like I'm worried about doing well, right? So instead of you being like, oh, I'm worried about failing, what about everything that you've done well so far with being at your new job, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that you've succeeded at, right, in the past.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to ask for help?
For sure. Yes.
Okay. How does it feel for you to want to try to challenge those negative thought processes by saying things like, well, I've exceeded in the past, or, I am worried about doing well, but I can ask for help. Is that something that you'll be willing to try?
Yeah. It seemed kind of hard to believe that it'll work, but I guess I could try it out.
Okay, so whenever you are having those negative thoughts, maybe just saying stop to yourself and things of that sort. I know like it can kind of feel weird, I will say, with you having to say stop, but I promise like as you practice it, it'll get easier and easier. Honestly, everything in therapy, if you put in the work, I promise you'll get something out of it in the end. So let's practice something. Okay, pretend you're at work
Okay.
and that thought pops up in your head that you're gonna mess up. What would you say to yourself instead?
Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
Okay, but do you feel like don't mess up is the best thing? Could you say like I can ask for help? Or would you be willing to be like, I've succeeded at so many other tasks here, it's okay, it's gonna be okay?
See, when I tell myself I want to ask for help,
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like the person that I ask for help, I don't want them to see me as I cannot get the task done. So I stop myself from going towards that route.
Okay, so do you feel like it makes you feel helpless?
Yes,
In a sense.
if I ask for that.
So with this task, it's really just you creating a small pause. Whenever you have those negative thoughts to yourself, you creating those small pauses and challenging your negative thoughts. So with you saying stop, right, it shifts gears a little bit to where you are, starting to become more confident and less anxious by saying stop, I got this.
Right.
And saying positive things to yourself, which in turn would help you not, second guess. So what would that look like for you?
Truly, I think it would not mean second guessing myself
Okay.
so much, and actually finishing projects without feeling paralyzed. It'll probably help me succeed more.
I mean, to me, that sounds like a great goal. What's one small step that you could take this week just to move toward that? Maybe something a little bit manageable, something not too much, but not too little either.
I can probably start finishing out one task and getting that task done before I
Okay.
jump to the next task.
Okay.
And maybe I'll use the stop thing. Maybe
Okay.
then when I think that'd be a good thing for me. I think yeah.
So I do have a question. Do you usually see yourself spiraling a little bit whenever you are jumping from task to task to task because you're not getting everything finished? You're starting one project and then you're starting another project and you're never finishing the first project. So you're kind of spiraling because you have this going on and that going on and things of that sort, which is triggering these negative thoughts that you are having. So I really think that this would be a great plan for you. I think it's a great start for you. I think that this is something that will help break down those negative thoughts. But what I would like to ask is, what will you do to motivate yourself so you will stick to this plan this week anyways?
Really, I'll just keep encouraging myself.
Okay.
I just want to stop telling myself I will fail at everything.
Okay.
So I would just try to keep encouraging myself, and maybe I will try to use this task to help myself complete these things. But that's probably all that I have.
Okay. So I think that is very reasonable, of course, for you. And I believe that, like, you can do this. You got this. It's a great goal. It's very achievable. It's very obtainable. Things of that sort. I really would like to just summarize, everything that we just discussed as far as your negative thought processes and what you're going to do for this week. So this week, you'll practice, just stopping when negative thoughts arise and replacing them with more positive words, and then focusing on completing one task at a time rather than you not completing this task or that task and you're starting on all these other tasks. How does that sound for you?
That sounds good. That sounds really great for me.
Okay, well, I think that you got it. I believe